I uh I just moved my mic further away from my face. Does this sound okay, stream people? Craig and Shrak. I see Craig typing. It's about the same. I guess that's good then. Oh wait, no, it's about to. Oh, I guess it's not good then. Hmm.
All right, so I switched to my headset mic. Let me know if that's any better or worse. Well, I'm not hearing you at all now, Justin.
Sorry, I was trying to adjust my mic on my side. I muted
Ah,
myself.
cool.
Am I coming across too loud over there?
Um, I'm hearing you fine.
Okay, here. Let me pull up the stream
Sound
on
fine to me.
Facebook. Okay, cool. That's the last thing I want is to just be like stupid loud. Let me
Now,
check the
it
Facebook stream real
also
quick.
could be on my side. I might have the
Oh, okay.
desktop sound up too high.
Cool. You'll have to forgive the technical difficulties. This is the first remote stream we've tried, I think. Whew, buddy.
All right, so I will turn the desktop audio down a little bit. And see if I can turn my mic up. Okay, that might just be as good as it's going to get. Okay, hey, multi-chat is working. Hey, and I
I
guess we're on Mixer as well. Cool.
Cool. Where do you see multi-chat?
I've got Mob Crush Studio on OBS.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was something I was missing out on or not. Sounds like I
No,
am.
well, yeah.
Oh man. So, David, you'll have to forgive me. I I've been super busy. What exactly is NormCore? I take it it's a multiplayer integration for. Is it just multiplayer for Unity or multiplayer for VR specifically?
It is multiplayer for Unity, and I guess we'll go
Okay.
ahead and just get started here. I will go into present mode so you guys on the Google chat can see. And current window screen cat. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Sure can.
Good deal. So, NormCore is a peer-to-peer multiplayer backend for Unity specifically. Uh, it is real easy to use. For Shrek's question, I believe it is actually easy enough for a game jam. Um, this might actually end up being a pretty short talk because it is pretty easy to use. First, we'll go through some of the pricing here, which I guess is kind of the important part. There is an enterprise option, which is kind of if you have to ask, you can't afford it. But for the normal kind of pay as you go, it's free for 30 concurrent users and 10 rooms with 120 gigabytes of bandwidth. And for the Pro, it's $24 a month for 1,000 concurrent users and 500 rooms, 3 terabytes of bandwidth. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to chime in. You don't have to wait till the end or whatever, because I am just a
Um,
rambling.
so I've got a quick one. What does NormCore define as a room? Is that just like say
Uh,
like a lobby or?
you can think of it as a server.
Okay, okay,
They're basically logical servers, and they get created on the fly when you initiate NormCore. You give it a room name, and it will just create a room with that name.
okay.
You can be in multiple rooms at the same time, so you can do some like real cool shenanigans about having multiple rooms for different locations in the same world. So you can do some good stuff with like MMOs and stuff like that. Make sure I keep the chat up. And yeah, Cat's asking that the half and half devs created this, and yes, they did. They are a kind of a social VR app called Half Plus Half on Quest, I believe, on Oculus. So setting up NormCore is super easy. It is just the I'll show you guys here in actual Unity. So this is the real time, they call it real time script here. You'll give it your API key and you'll give it a room name. This can also be set at runtime as well. And that's kind of it. For VR stuff, there is a real-time like avatar manager. This thing is basically just a list of uh, prefabs that get instantiated when you first enter a room. So this is not exactly VR specific, but they do have a lot of VR stuff built in for you. For the VR player avatars here, they kind of have to be in a folder called resources, which is something that you can call by resources.load. And that's required for NormCore for your avatar. And I believe anything that gets instantiated is done through resources. For their built-in avatar, it is, yeah, here in resources. And if we open up the actual prefab, it's nothing real special. It's a head with a model, two hands with a model. And I'll get over to the real-time view and real-time transforms in just a second. But the view and the transform is basically all you need to get something showing and syncing up across the network. Ted asks if it can sync up with the XR kit on Unity, and yes, it can. And I have that running over here. We might show it later if folks want to hop on.
Yeah, let me know. I've got my Rift right here. I can help test something out if you need.
Cool. So in their on their website, you basically just when you sign up and log in, you'll create a new application, and that application is just a name and an API key. For right now, that's kind of all you have. They've got more analytics and stuff coming later. They've got a version 2.0 coming out. They said next month-ish, depending on how the lockdown shakes out. So some of the core concepts, we've already kind of gone over the rooms. They are just kind of like your logical servers, and the rooms have a data store contained within them, and your data store is basically your database that gets synced between all your clients, and this all gets synced up automatically between every client. And when a new client shows up, they get a full copy of the data store, and everybody else gets Delta updates, which saves on bandwidth. I don't know how much y'all are familiar with the MVC paradigm of architecture, but NormCore uses this. This is what their view and model are based on. So the real-time transform that they is one of the components that they give you, and that is basically going to be syncing up automatically between your clients for you, and that's going to be syncing to the data store and to each client. It's real simple to use. For creating your own components, we can just, I can show you that now. So, so what I have here on our little blue cube here, I have a component here called color model. That is not the right one. It is in scripts, models, color model. All right. So NormCore actually does a lot of auto-generating code for you. So I can click here to clear the auto-generated code. So the only thing that I had to write was this class that doesn't inherit anything, and this property here. So can you guys see that? Is that too small?
It looks fine on my side, but
Yeah,
I don't know what other people on different streams can see.
I'll zoom it in if I can remember how to do that. Okay, cool. So for your class here, you have to give it an attribute called real-time model. And inside real-time model, you can have a number of properties here. They have to be set to private, and they have to start with an underscore. Uh, in the real-time property attribute here, you need to give it a property ID, and that's going to be just an integer. And this needs to be unique for each model. So if you have more than one model, uh, they'll start with the first property, second property, third, and so forth. The second one here is reliable, and that is, if you're familiar with networking, kind of your reliable sending and unreliable. The unreliable will just kind of send it once and forget it. The reliable will try to resend it until it gets an acknowledgement that it got received. So you want to use reliable for things like usernames or colors or something that you absolutely have to have synced up between clients. But for something like positions or inputs, that can be unreliable because you're just sending a new one, the next frame anyways. And the last one here is a change event that this will auto generate for you. So if this is true, then they will auto generate a event for this color change. So you don't have to keep checking the color. You'll just register to that event. And then when that color changes, you can change everything locally. And that's another thing with the rooms. No code actually runs on the rooms on their server side. So everything is peer to peer. Your physics and everything will all run locally, and then that is will then get synced up across all the clients. And I'll show you what the compile stuff looks like here. So yeah, and this is just the boilerplate code here. There's nothing super fancy going on here. Um, it's just everything needed to serialize and deserialize and sync up with the local cache. There's here's your event here and your property or not. And then you can actually give it an instance, so you can actually spawn it in different rooms if you're connected to them. One of the arguments you can set here is destroy when owner or last client leaves. If you set that to false, then that object will persist in the room even when no one else is logged into it. So the next time somebody logs in, they'll see that object in its last state. You kind of have to be careful with this one because if you end up changing or doing an update or whatever, and that object changes, that can break the synchronization. The other things that you can add to your components are real-time array, uh, which is basically just an array that will get synchronized. The problem with this one is that it only has an add array, but it doesn't have a remove. And they say that's by design. I'm not quite sure why they did it that way. Craig has a question about explaining the use case for extrapolation, and I will get to that in just a second. The real-time dictionary here is what you'll be using most of the time, and it has an add and remove here that you can use instead of an array. And if you just give it a value, then it will keep track of its own index. And that's super useful. And they both have events for when something is added and removed or replaced in the containers. So that's something that you can keep track of without too much fuss. And so extrapolation, well, we can actually test it and see, but it should, while it's sending the delta updates, I believe extrapolations will, like I said, extrapolate the positions out, so it uh, doesn't have to worry about jittering with the position of the object as it's moving. We can try that on the ball because it bounces. All right. Okay, Justin, you want to hop in and we can see this in action?
Yeah, sure. What do I need to do? Do I need to go and get something first?
You can grab the one I posted on Telegram.
Ah, got it. I just need to remember where saved that.
Well, the one I posted a new one today,
Oh, okay.
uh,
Give me 1 second. I'll go get it.
about an hour or so ago.
Oh, derp, 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 derp. Ah, yeah, I see it.
Let's
Give me
see.
1 second. It should only take me a couple minutes to download it and extract it.
No problem. So, I'll go over here how it actually connects here. I don't know if y'all can see this too well, but the first thing that it does when it tries to connect to a room is that it will send a ping out to uh, each of three of their different regions that they have around the world, and it will find the region with the lowest ping time, and it will create your room there. And okay, I'm not sure how well this is going to play on the audio, but
Okay. Hey, David, I've got the latest build that you posted. Do you just want me to go ahead and run that and hop in VR?
yep.
Okay, cool. Give me 1 second. I'll be right there.
Yeah, there's Justin. Okay. All right, Justin. I've got it so when you pick up this cube, it changes colors. Do you see this green? Okay, good. Because I've got it set up to change to a random color, and I wasn't quite sure. You can use your, yeah, you got it. Yay! Oh no. So I've got so that works actually fairly well. Let's toss the ball. I've got this here. All right, so this I should be able to throw a little bit better. If you use the laser pointer on the ball, you can grab it. Oh, and I think that just broke physics. So that's something I have to figure out is physics was working. Whoops. And now it is not. Huh. So it works on the cube. No, no. All right. All right, Justin, I'm going to hop back out here. All right. So that was kind of a basic demonstration of it. I couldn't tell the difference between the extrapolation and not extrapolation. So I'm going to have to do some more research on what exactly that is doing here. I also need to know why the physics broke on our ball here. But I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I was needing to go over. Do y'all have any other questions or comments?
Um, if I wanted to dig into this, what's their site? Is it just normcore.io? I thought I saw it earlier.
NormCore.io, yes.
Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, no, this is really interesting. I know that multiplayer has kind of been our Achilles heel at game jams, so this is exciting.
Yeah, their documentation's kind of light, but there's not a whole lot actually to it. The biggest thing is keeping track of ownership and permissions. What I did with the ball and the cube is on the grab interactable events here. This is from the XR Toolkit, and they have a grab interactable, and there's a couple of events that happen when you hover or when you select or when you activate, and just when you select it, which I think is the grab button, it will request uh, ownership of that object. So once you have ownership of that object, your client is handling all the physical stuff on it. What might have happened with the ball is that it lost ownership when you let go of it, but it shouldn't be doing that unless I have it clearing ownership somewhere. Boy, I didn't think I did. The other, yeah, the other thing is just the syncing the objects is here in our sync. Basically, all you do is you grab a copy of the model. You can change what you need to on the model, and that's it. The model actually will actually synchronize itself once you change whatever property you had on it. I've got I found somebody did this with the Oculus hand tracking, that they got the actual hand poses to sync across, which is really cool. They just grabbed all of the positions of the bones, saved it out to a string, and they're just syncing that string across the network. And apparently that works. I haven't actually had time to test it yet. So yeah, that's about it. You guys on the chat, you guys got any questions? I see Craig, Marcus, and Kat are in the chat. I did get the AR as spectator viewer working, which is actually really cool. If you've got a phone with AR Kit or AR Core, you basically set this up the same way, and spit out an APK. And you, when you run it, you can plop a little scene on the ground. That's just the little cube world that we had, and you'll see a giant avatar dude hanging out in the sky. Actually, I wonder if I can still connect to it. I may have deleted it. Craig says, "What's best to put in the real-time dictionary and other real-time data structures?" You can do pretty much whatever you want to put in there. A lot of folks on their Discord have been syncing animations and stuff through uh, the dictionary. You can sync like health stats or uh, any kind of like player data would go in there. The room also has room.time that gets synced up between every client. So if you are having cutscenes or any other kind of animations that you need like running at the same time for like audio cues and whatnot, that's one way of actually doing it. Yeah, Cat Dictionary is just kind of uh, it's a list that you can have two properties in. So here, where is it? Real time dictionary. It's a they call it a key value pair, and your key is how you look up your values. Kind of like a dictionary has a word and a definition. So this might work. Hello. So this dude here is my phone that you guys can't see. There should be I mean, this is using the for Craig's asking how the phone is moving, and it's using the AR core. So it's tracking the plane on my desk, and I think it's keeping track of the rotation through the gyroscopes and whatnot.
Oh, that's really cool.
It kind of is, and there should. I don't think this thing can pick up the mic. It does pick up the mic. Okay, let's not do that.
So here's a question.
Yep,
So I know that you like the free tier. It was like what you could have 50 concurrent users up to, or something like that, or 10, whatever the number is.
yep,
Does the phone count as one of those concurrent users?
yep.
Ah, got it. I figured. Just thought I'd double check.
Yeah, pricing's here. 30 concurrent users, 10 rooms for free, or 24 a month, and you get 1,000 concurrent users, 500 rooms.
That's really cool. I want to dig into this. I just wish I had more free time.
I hear you. But yeah, I mean it's super easy, and